Hello again, everyone. This is Daniel, and let's talk about spring again. And also, let's talk about if let's. So, how can you tell that? All right. Let's just talk about how you can tell that you are God's child. So, how can you tell that you are God's child? By knowing the elements of the earth. How come every time we say that the odds of being struck by lightning are very slim? Doesn't the lightning always come to its magnetic force of energy? Isn't the home where the most wood is, and where the most metal is, and where all the electric currents are? Yet the trees are also dangerous too. And how is it that the house is not always struck, yet every other tree is? How is it that the odds of being struck by lightning are slim to none? Okay. Why is it that whenever you're outside, you have a chance of being struck by lightning, yet the animals are not? Actually, the opposite is true. Since science is describing that it is more usual for you to be struck by lightning outside than inside. And that has been what the science believes is given fact. But indoor, you're just as likely to be struck by lightning than by anything else outside. Not unless you're the alone stranger in the middle of the field, just go in the forest, and you'll just be having the same odds as indoors. As every deer burrows low, we must also burrow low. But why is it that humanity has completely survived, and so has the animals, by lightning whenever we're outside? But in a sense, lightning should have killed us a little more. We should have been less populated. We should have been down to 1 billion instead of 7 billion. Let me tell you something. God is in control. He does not want his lightning strikes to kill us. He does not want his waters to overcome us. He controls all the waters. He controls all the lightning strikes. He controls all the elements of the earth. He controls all the wind and the trees. None shall harm the man or the animal. And by any sense, in a spiritual sense, every single thing is bowing down. Like these trees bow down to God. They bow down to God because they lay their leaves to the light source. Like we should bow down to God. Like any animal, every animal will bow down to God in His kingdom. So, because every mountain will bow down to God, every rock shall sing to God, and every flower shall bow down to God. So if you don't get this, you're not a child of God. Now, for instance, what is hair measured in God? Because He always counts a hair individually, completely and utterly. And He counts all of these rocks in this garage. And if any shall leave, He shall count it out of this place, right? But let me tell you something. This rock, this stone, is worth more to God than we have worth to ourselves. It's worth, that stone to God is worth more to Him than our fathers are worth to us, and our mothers worth to us. So, why is that? Why does God count every single thing? Why does God count every single stone in this garage? Why does He count every single sparrow and every single hair on our heads? even the thick hair on our heads, even the many vast hairs on our heads. Why do you count that? Because every single thing, even the lowest things, even the leaves on the ground that have passed away, those are worth more to God than we are worth to each other. And if God has, and if a fly has more worth to God than we have to each other, then why are we to love each other like Jesus loves us? And even the rocks shall cry out, "O Lord, save us. Save us from the sin of these people." Even this is worth a lot to God. This broken canister that is hopeless, even that's worth a lot to God. Even the things we create are worth a lot to God. Even then, He destroys certain things that He wishes, and He creates things that He wishes. And if anything shall be destroyed, it's under His power, not ours. He is like a boss, a righteous boss, and He has every power in Him, every single. He has every single power and every single freedom to do whatever He wants with us, whether He be sending us to hell or not. He has every single power and freedom to do whatever He wants. And He does not want to send anyone to hell. Yet anything that harms His children, or anything that wishes, shall be sent there. This wood is crying out, "Let this burden be done." And He says a little more. These rocks are saying, "When will we be redeemed and set more beautiful in heaven?" These rocks are saying, "Clean us, O Lord. Please clean us." And in any sense, if you're a child of God, you're supposed to know all these things. This is the example of knowing about, this is all examples of how you can tell you're basically God's child. Because if you know all these things, basically, you're God's child. Because you have His Spirit. And how you react on earth is how He will react to you. How you behave on earth, how you live your life, depends on how your afterlife will be. You do not have two lives, but one long life that is eternal. You either have the eternity in hell, or you either have the eternity in heaven. Because if you don't know that grass is living and so are rocks living spiritually, then you don't know that Jesus is there for you. And every mountain will bow down. Every rock will bow down. Rocks, they don't do anything, but they're physically crying out to God. When will this end? They're the most beautiful things that you can ever imagine. And yet we just overestimate the beauty and power of God. He says all these things like, mountains shall bow down, the rocks shall sing, the rocks shall scream, rejoice, all that stuff. He calms the waters. He cures every cancer that is ever in there, because cancer has to live off of our bodies. But then He will basically curse it and kill it, because that person is a child of God. Or He wants them to live longer, just to realize that God is real, that God is there and He is powerful. He is an awesome God. Please understand me. If anything is to attack you, is either doing it animal defense, it doesn't know better, or you're not God's child. things like rocks that really bow down to God shall be all over in heaven and hell. What do you know about rocks? Are you God's child? You know it. Alright, I'll be done now, okay? Bye.